You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. I deliver it every day. And we have a very focused show. We only chat about items affecting the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we do celebrate today. It is not one of the better ones, in my opinion. National Homemade Soup Day. Yeah, I like homemade soup, but can we go back to National Carrot Cake Day? I'm just wondering.
You know better than that.
Yeah, I guess we cannot go backwards. We ought to keep on looking forward. Speaking of looking forward, big Super Bowl coming up. I saw this story. I had to share this stats with you. Unbelievable. It's just here, only in the state of confusion can this happen. But think about this, Cam Newton, and I just use him because he does have one of the highest profiles in the game this weekend, having to pay the state of California more money than he's going to earn for the Super Bowl win, lose, or draw. Think about that. He has to actually pay out of pocket money to play in the Super Bowl. I'll give you a little history here. Peyton Manning, when he played in New Jersey a few years ago, $47,000 in taxes for his Super Bowl earnings of $46,000. $47,000 in taxes on earnings of $46,000. But Cam Newton, he probably would wish that he could get off that easy. Share a little bit of this story with you. It's called a jock tax rule, and it applies to professional athletes. There's other businesses that have similar situations, but this just happens to be the way they do it with the professional athletes. The state taxes a player based on the calendar year income. So January 1 through December 31. They apply the income to the duty days, how many days you have to work throughout the year, number of total days required, mandatory days of working. I guess some of these guys, maybe they need to work a little more days to cut down on the California taxes. But here's the way it works. Newton has already earned $58,000 so far this year. Not too bad. Damn! Yeah, $58,000 so far this year. Week 17 of the NFL season and $71,000 in playoff bonuses. Newton is due $10 million signing bonus, $13 million base salary for 2016, which will receive the full amount during the regular season. Luckily, Week 17 next season occurs on New Year's Day. That should be pretty interesting. That Week 17, New Year's Day, 2017, will shield $765,000 from California taxation. If the Panthers win the Super Bowl, Newton's going to earn another $102,000 in playoff bonuses. But if they lose, he only gets another net $51,000. The Panthers will have about 206 total duty days during 2016. It's including the playoffs, preseason, regular season, organized team activities. And if Newton doesn't go to any of those organized team activities, it costs him $500,000, so I guess he'll show up. 7 of those duty days will be in California for the Super Bowl. 4 will be in California for a game against the Rams and Oakland next season. So if they win on Sunday, if the Panthers win on Sunday, Newton will pay California a total. Are you ready for this? I should get their friendly drum roll going. He will pay California a total of $159,560. If they win. If they lose, because his income will be reduced by $51,000, he's going to pay California $159,200. Think about that. Why would that be? We're going to have to do a little more research on this. He's going to cut his income by $51,000, and there's $360 is the difference in taxes. Maybe he should be getting taxed more. I can't believe he's only going to $360 on $51,000. I don't get it. Amazing. To determine what Newton will pay California on his Super Bowl winnings alone, we ignore the 4 2016 season duty days, pretend they are being played elsewhere. In looking at the 7 days Newton will spend in California this week for Super Bowl 50, 7 days for Super Bowl 50, he'll pay the state $101,600 in order to earn $102,000. So if they win, he nets income of $400. Hardly seems worth your while for 7 days worth of work. If they lose, he's going to pay the state $101,360 for $51,000 of income. Think about that one. He makes $51,000, has to pay the state $101,000. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? So Newton will pay California 99.6% of his Super Bowl earnings if the Panthers win. Losing means his effective tax rate will be a whopping 198.8%. Oh, yeah, and he's still got to pay the IRS their 40% as well. Even Bernie Sanders should be happy with that. Unbelievable. Why in the world does the Players Association, we'll have to ask this to our business of sports expert David Meltzer, why in the world does the NFL have a Super Bowl game in the state of California? You would think that the Players Association would have a comment on that. Maybe we can tweet that out, Alec, and send a note off to David Meltzer and ask him why the Super Bowl why the players would ever want to have the Super Bowl in California with these kind of taxes. Wonder if he'll get a chance to answer us during the broadcast, and we'll hit him back on that one if he does come up with it. Maybe we can get David to pipe in on that. With those kind of taxes, why in the world? You would think that the collective bargaining agreement, line item 1, no Super Bowls in California. Players cost them too much money. Just a thought. I wonder if they could get away with something like that. Moving right along. I guess we shouldn't complain. I guess maybe everybody wants to come to California. They're expecting. Only the NFL could pull this off. All year long, we've been talking about having horrible weather and the most horrendous El Nino ever. And remember, we heard him say 95% chance of an El Nino, 60% chance it'll be the worst ever. And in Santa Clara on Sunday, they're expecting the weather to be in the high 70s. Unbelievable. You heard us talk to Robert Mott yesterday, and he was checking in from downtown San Francisco where all the events are taking place. We didn't ask him about that. I wonder if he's over there at the Super Bowl. Oh, well, I digress. But he said yesterday it was going to be in the mid-70s in San Francisco. How could they put a request in for weather like that? How did they get that done? I don't get it. I know we're talking about being 70s, 80s coming up here. Beautiful. Moving around, not so beautiful. San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. I gotta love San Diego politics. San Diego agreed to pay $667,000 on Tuesday to settle one of 3 unresolved sexual battery and harassment suits against the former mayor, Bob Filner. $667,000 settlement for sexual harassment suit filed by Benelia Santos Hunter, who worked as the mayor's executive assistant. 2 more of these suits on the way. Now, I don't understand. Only in the city can you come up with things like this. There's 2 more suits still pending. First one is $750,000 or $250,000 paid out, right? And they say the other 2 will bring it up to $1 million for total. Aren't they gypping the other 2 people? I'm just questioning that. I don't know. But it seems to me that if the first one gets $667,000, the others are not going to be wanting to settle for much less than that. What do you think? Text me, tweet me at Ron Siegel. Let me know your thoughts. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got some interesting topics today. 13 million Americans commit infidelity. Really? We'll talk about it. Home refinancing plan banks don't want you knowing. We'll compare it. Some things you never want to say to a financial advisor. We've got a lot to cover today. And you can reach me anytime, though, at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at Apris on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience, they can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-APRIS or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine, when it happens to you, you know what to do. Go Apris. Remember, call 844-GO-APRIS. That's 844-462-7747.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. If you want the true value, the true equity amount of your home, just text PEAR, Professional Equity Analysis Review, to 79564. Text PEARS to 79564, like the fruit. Now, you can't get the true equity of your home with one of those online reports because there are certain pieces of data that the report cannot find, cannot take into account. Question today, this time, you ever watch Shark Tank? I watch that every once in a while. Mr. Wonderful may be wrong this time. Kevin O'Leary is known as Mr. Wonderful, said millennials don't give a poo-poo about owning a house. This thing could not be further from the truth. Let's give a few examples. Ironically, it's kind of funny. I hear this on a regular basis. That's why I wanted to bring this up. That you hear these comments from people saying that millennials don't want to own a home. And then we go out and we see surveys that are being done by Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University, dispelling these myths. So here's a recent national housing market survey conducted by Fannie Mae. It was revealed, and I'm going to quote here because I want to make sure we get it exactly perfect. Quote, data indicates that millennial renters today have as much desire to own a home as the general population of renters. According to the National Housing Survey data, the substantial majority of renters aged 25 to 34 say that owning makes more sense than renting from a financial perspective. A majority also agree that owning makes more sense than renting from a lifestyle perspective. The vast majority of millennial renters tell us they plan to own a home at some point in the future, unquote. Recent Merrill Lynch report found that 81% of millennials agree that home ownership is an important part of their personal American dream. And the most recent home survey explained that 85% of Americans aged 34 and under, that would be the millennials, believe that home ownership is a good financial decision. So every one of these sources are saying the same thing, that the millennials believe home ownership is a good financial decision. So while Mr. O'Leary might be a great white shark when it comes to investing in companies, he might just be a guppy when dealing with the residential real estate market. Just a thought there. If you are a millennial, I know that you're not going to email me because millennials don't email. I know that you're not going to call me because millennials don't use telephones. In fact, most of them, 7 digits is a difficult issue, or 10 digits for millennials seems like it's a difficult concept. They'd much rather use that little @ sign and tweet, right? Isn't that how? Or text. Those are the communication methods. I think I see some with mine. Facebook is even obsolete with a lot of the millennials nowadays. What is that? Snapchat, Tumblr. I don't know what the other ones are. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But in any event, I use all those things because we've got a millennial showing me how to use this stuff. He's over here doing the tweeting for us right now. If you want to tweet us and send in your commentary, at Ron Siegel, Siegel, and we are monitoring that. We even sent a tweet out to a non-millennial, David Meltzer. We're seeing if he's awake. He's up there on what do they call it? Press row at the Super Bowl. So he may not be up at it yet. So we'll have to see if he's going to tweet us back and let us know why in the world the collective bargaining agreement allows for Super Bowls to be played in California. I did just get a message, though, coming across that the Raiders, I think it's the Raiders and the Texans next year, are going to actually move one of their games. I should look at this they're going to play one of their games in Mexico. There was no comment on here as to whether they're going to be using the old pigskin football or if they're going to be using the round one with, what is it, black and white checkers on there. So we'll have to check that out and see what they're saying there. But Raiders and Texans are going to play a game in Mexico next year. That ought to be kind of interesting to see how that goes. What do you think? Again, you can tweet me with your thoughts and commentary right there. Moving right along. What else do we have on our agenda today? Oh, you got to love this one. I saw this story and I had to share it. You know, I am a simple guy. And when it comes to science, when I was at Chapman, you know, you had to take science to pass, you know, to get your degree. And me totally disliking science, it was not one of my favorite subjects. I liked math. I did a lot of math. And I went in and they said, well, you can have the opportunity of doing a real science, or you can kind of do a Mickey Mouse science to get your degree. You know, this is a lot of years ago. So I said, Mickey Mouse is just fine with me. We're a stone's throw from Disneyland. I can handle that, I think. I tried, what's that one that's, I don't know, a couple of the sciences that are supposed to be a lot of math. I couldn't figure it out. Life science, I was able to figure out life science and barely get through. But I'm looking at a report here, and that's where this comes up. You probably thought I lost my mind and was just rambling here. I probably was. California homeowners cut water use by 18.3% in December, still barely meeting Governor Brown's mandate. And then I saw last night, I don't know if you caught this one, where there were some trees that are falling. Now you think, and that there's a lot of trees within the state that are dying. Now again, I'm not a horticulturist. I don't know a lot about science. It's not my cup of tea. Doesn't it just seem to make sense that if you stop watering and you only, I think Newport Beach, they only allow watering 1 day a week. Anaheim allows watering 2 days a week. Doesn't it make sense to you that if you're not allowed to water, that some of these older and bigger trees are going to die? And when they die, they fall. When they fall, they ruin things. Well, obviously, when the governor said that mandated that we have to cut water consumption by 25%, and the cities went and started doing all these other water conservation and mandates, yeah, you're going to end up losing the vegetation. Look at what's happened in the Central Valley. So I guess they just extended the regulations for drought restrictions through October of this year is the latest. And I wonder if we're going to worry about more trees dying. Again, if you were thinking about putting in some drought-tolerant landscaping, in some areas they still have some rebates on those, but in many areas, our friends over at U.S. Green Builders have some solutions for you where you can do easy for me to say, drought-tolerant landscaping and hardscaping and not pay for it for 12 to 18 months. You start paying then. So you'll save on your water bill, take that money, put it aside, so you've got the money to pay for it when the bills start coming in. Just a thought for you to consider right there. Maybe it'll make sense for you. I don't know whether it will make sense. I don't know whether it won't make sense. But I know that making the phone call does make sense. Call me at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with them, and they can share that information with you. Another one of those lawsuits, this time a judge okayed a class action against Wells Fargo in dispute with California homeowners, saying Wells Fargo came out and was supposed to be doing loan modifications and debt reduction, helping people to save their homes under the Home Affordable Mortgage Program. Apparently, the judge feels there's enough cause to allow the class action lawsuit to go forward. If you're with Wells Fargo, you may want to look, if you have your loan with Wells Fargo, you may want to look into that, see if it makes sense for your family, if you're affected. Just sharing a little bit of information with you. I'm going to get a little bit more information on our millennials coming up here. Some ways our millennials can jumpstart on retirement planning. Maybe the millennials want to retire a little earlier. We're going to chat about that. We'll also talk about the refinancing plan banks don't want you to know about, things you never say to a financial advisor, and 13 million Americans committing infidelity? Really? Isn't that, what's that website? Ashley Madison? Is that what, weren't they the ones that got in trouble or got hacked or something like that? I don't know. We'll talk about all of that, though, when we come back. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcasts, the audio replays are on RonSiegelRadio.com in the archives. We are streaming live, RonSiegelRadio.tv, and those replays go on YouTube, Ron Siegel 1. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com. Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today brought to you by your household board of directors. Yes, that would be financial planners, tax planners, or tax-enrolled agents, credit repair, maybe an attorney or two. Estate planning is a big one. You might need to know a financial advisor. You might need to know a family lawyer. Hope not a bankruptcy attorney, real estate, mortgage, business consultants. They're all part of your household board of directors. Text ATP to 79564, Area Trusted Professional, ATP to 79564, and we will do a 2-minute survey with you and figure out who are the people you need to meet. But here are 6 things never to say to a financial advisor. Never, ever. 1, just do whatever you want. I trust you. Would you really think about that?
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Yeah. You know something? You're only going to hire them based on trusting them. But you're still the CEO. Even when we talk about our board of directors, our household board of directors, Apple Computer, they've got a board of directors. When they get the board together, they're taking guidance from the board. That doesn't mean they're being dictated to from the board. The board may not even agree on everything. You're the CEO of your household's finances. You need to take an active role. Number 2, what is your performance? Now, that kind of a question doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. Here's the concept. If you walk into a doctor and you've been feeling really, really crummy lately, I hope not, but if you've been feeling crummy, you walk into a doctor and you say, hey, doc, I need a prescription. Can he give you a prescription for feeling crummy? Or does he need to know about you? Does he need to know what's going on? What do you mean by feeling crummy? One person, it could be that their knee is really, really hurting them. Maybe they're getting different types of muscle cramps. Maybe the issue is you got a head cold. Not necessarily going to use the same prescription or treatment for both of those. I hope not. Maybe you got high blood pressure. Hate to see you get an antibiotic for high blood pressure. Doesn't work. Same thing with dealing with your financial plan. You can't go into the financial planner and say, what's your performance? Well, one person may only want municipal bonds. They may just want a municipal bond portfolio. Maybe they only want a treasury bond portfolio. Maybe that's all they want to hold. So the performance for that person may be exactly what that person wants, yet it's not a huge return based on what you're looking for. Every individual is different. So that's one of the first things. You gotta know you before they can answer the question. Here's one that I heard a lot when I was at Merrill Lynch. Can you get me tickets? SuperBowl, tennis, concert. Really? That's what you really want from your financial advisor is tickets? If they do a good enough job for you, you can get any tickets you want.
You're absolutely useless.
Then you get this. This is another good one. Who else do you manage money for and what are they invested in? Again, you can't do that. Number 1, financial advisors are bound by strict client confidentiality rules, similar to that of a doctor with HIPAA laws, an attorney with client attorney privileges. They're not attorneys in many instances, in most instances, but your doctor or divorce attorney is not going to be talking about health and legal issues. Your financial planner better not be talking about what you're invested in, how much money you have. Another great one. I was introduced to you by so-and-so. I want what they have. Well, are your goals the same as theirs? If your goals, do you have the same number of kids, the same age, same desires for retirement, same income level, same financial net worth, same housing structure? So many things go into this. You've got to know your client. The financial person needs to know their client. It's different for everybody. Here's another great one. How busy are you? I want the advisor with the most free time. Really?
This is ridiculous.
If your advisor has a whole lot of free time, don't you think that maybe it's because they haven't done a great job? Do you want a surgeon that never does surgery? Just a thought there. I would suggest that maybe that's not exactly who you want. Think about these things. I don't know if you watched, did you start watching last night? I was watching a little bit of that documentary. I think it's a documentary on Bernie Madoff. Right? Do your own due diligence. Find out if that person's goals and objectives and their style meets yours. Very, very simple concept here. When I was at Merrill Lynch, back in the late 90s, everybody was investing in the internet and the .com issues. And it was kind of funny because one of the big laughing jokes around the water coolers was how far down Berkshire Hathaway was going, Warren Buffett's company. Warren Buffett, arguably one of the greatest investors of all time. I don't agree with his politics. I find him to be quite hypocritical, but you cannot argue with his success as an investor. And he basically came out and said, I don't understand this .com stuff. I don't understand stocks skyrocketing when they make no money. I am staying away from it. And he's stuck with his value approach of investing. Buy great companies, let the management do their thing, because that's why you bought them, because they're a great company, and just stick with them. He's not a trader. And I don't mean Traitor. I mean, he's not a trader, Trader. He doesn't trade, he doesn't go in and out of positions a lot. He buys a position, maybe buys some more of it. He's generally a long-term hold kind of guy. When the market bust in 2000 and the dot-coms were all going out of business, all of a sudden his Berkshire Hathaway started skyrocketing. Well, the bottom line there was his type of investing suited certain people who wanted just slow and steady. He suited the turtle. Some people want to be the rabbit. Well, the rabbit tires out a lot quicker than the turtle. Think about that. Just a thought when you're dealing with some of these different issues. And you have to just understand, are you in the right kind of investment? Are you not in the right kind of investment? What's your time horizon? When I talk to my sons, we don't talk about retirement and investing for them in the same type of instruments that I invest in. Not because mine aren't good or theirs aren't good or that I'm telling them to do something different. They've got a different time horizon. So what are some of the things that some of our millennials can do right now to get started in investing, maybe even planning for an early retirement? We've talked about some of these before. Number one, pay yourself first. When we spoke this last weekend over at Chapman University, we spoke a lot about using the specific type of insurance products that will allow a person, or a young person especially, to retire on a significant amount of money. We were showing an example at $18,000 a month. Will it work for everybody? No, but in this example, it did pencil out. Part of it had to do with putting money all the time into these specific vehicles. Pay yourself first. Direct deposit or direct withdrawal from your paycheck, or have it go out as a bill pay. Put your money to work. If you're young, get your money working for you. You cannot just have it sitting in a money market account that's paying you nothing. There are, in my opinion, only two ways to make money in this country. You can make money off of your efforts, or you can make money off of your money's efforts, right? I mean, tell me how else you can do it. Your efforts, hiring other people to work for you, or getting your money to make money for you. That's kind of hiring other people also. So put your money to work for you. I am not a big fan of the 401k, but yes, put as much as your employer will match into the 401k. If they don't match, don't put money in there. It's not a great investment. I'll share. We've talked about the insurance programs, products before. Remember what I've shared with you in the past. If you're putting away $4,000 a year into an IRA for 30 years, $4,000 a year, all of the tax savings will be exhausted in the first 20 months of distributions. 30 years of savings, 20 months of distributions uses up all of your tax benefits. Consider a Roth IRA. There's many, many uses for the Roth IRA, including potentially using that money, that as a savings vehicle, to bring your homeowner's insurance down by increasing deductibles. Keep investments simple. After you set up these different investments, you've got a long time to wait. Let them run their course. Think beyond savings. Well, we'll have to get back to some more of these. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we'll continue on this conversation of some of the ways millennials can jumpstart retirement planning. We're going to also talk about 13 million Americans commit infidelity. Really? And I bet you know some of them, right? Maybe you are even one of them and don't even realize it. Home refinancing plan banks don't want you to know about, but I'm going to share it with you, especially right now. It's a great time to restructure your home loan. Remember, you can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
In the middle of our streets, our house.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home, but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Now through February 9th, Farmer John fresh pork spare ribs are just $1.99 per pound. Limit 4 packs. And all Frito-Lay party-sized chips are $2.99 each at Smart and Final. Big Game Party Central.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by our friends over at VIP Mortgage. If you have not looked into refinancing your home yet, with interest rates as low as they are right now, and I think they may go a touch lower, you need to be getting involved. Get your paperwork in order. You're already collecting all your tax documents. A majority of the documents that are needed for your tax planner can also be used to do your home refinance. And think about this. If you can save your family $100, $200, $300 a month, doesn't it make sense? Our friends at VIP Mortgage are standing by, ready to assist. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will introduce you. 13 million Americans commit financial infidelity. This is a new survey. About 13 million Americans could be maintaining secret bank accounts or credit cards without their partner's knowledge, according to an analysis of recent poll conducted for creditcards.com. 1 in 20 respondents who are living with a spouse or partner admitted they have had a checking or savings account or credit card their significant other didn't know about. Multiplying that percentage by the number of U.S. adults yields nearly 13 million Americans who are withholding financial information from their loved ones. 13 million. Yeah, sounds like an interesting number. Do you know somebody in this scenario? Give me a tweet at Ron Siegel. Let me know your thoughts. Financial infidelity. And somebody thought that we were going to be talking about Ashley Madison this morning. Nah, this is a family broadcast. That's Your Credit Matters, again, brought to you by our friends over at VIP Mortgage. One of the things that VIP Mortgage will tell you about that a lot of other lenders really don't want you to know about, the big banks especially don't want you to know about, there is still the Home Affordable Refinance Plan. If you are one of that small group of people who still owe more on your home than the value of your home, and you want to see if you can take advantage of today's low interest rates, the Home Affordable Refinance Program may be for you. There are a couple of issues in there. Not every lender's doing this program, so you need to give a call. Again, VIP, our friends at VIP Mortgage, they are doing it. And you can shop around. You don't have to go back to your existing lender to look into it. Your home's loan to value, loan amount compared to the value of the property, 80% all the way up to 125%. So even if you owe more money, say you've got a $100,000 house and you owe $125,000 on it, this program will allow you to lower your interest rate. And again, just do the multiplication. If you've got a $400,000 house and a $500,000 mortgage, it still works just the same. Average monthly savings for Americans is $275 a month, $3,300 a year. Think about that one. Almost $100,000 over the life of the loan. Again, just give us a call at 800-306-1990. I'll get you the information on how to get the rates, how to find out if you qualify, see if it makes sense for you. We do that total cost analysis and adopt a mortgage right at Ron Siegel Radio, Adopting Your Mortgage, so you can find out if and when it makes sense for you, what the current valuations are, what your current equity position is. You remember our PAIR program, PEAR to 79564. They give you all that information as well. Before the break, we were talking about some ways millennials can jumpstart their retirement plan. So what are some of the ways that our millennials can jumpstart the retirement plan? We spoke about some of those before the break. Let's see if we can finish up on those. If you remember, we discussed the idea of pay yourself first, put money to work for you, get every penny of your 401k match, consider a Roth IRA, keep investments simple, think beyond savings. Here's a biggie. And I'm going to chat with you about for the seniors in a minute as well. Be wary of advice from peers and parents. And I am a parent, so I can speak to this issue. Many millennials don't trust financial advisors in the wake of the financial crisis. Some of the commercials that are going on right now just don't make any sense to me at all. That, you know, how did your performance on your portfolio Think about some of these things. You do want someone that's going to perform well, a portfolio that's going to perform well. But don't get caught up in the idea of how did it perform this week or next week. As a millennial, a young person, you're looking long term. And you want your portfolio to be diversified. So there's going to be some times when your portfolio is going to do great. There's going to be times when it doesn't do so great. That doesn't mean that you picked a bad advisor the days that it does poorly, and you picked a great advisor the days that it does well. You want to be looking at it long term because there's a certain portion of your portfolio that should be used to offset or for different values. Part of your portfolio is to give you a hedge against inflation, to make sure that you're not losing money. It's these small, steady gains. Then you've got a certain portion of your portfolio, and those are what I call swinging for singles. You just want to keep hitting a bunch of singles. Then you put a small part of your portfolio, you're looking for the home runs. Well, the home runs don't always come because when you swing for home runs, sometimes you strike out, and that's okay because you don't need to hit a bunch of home runs to offset a few strikeouts. So just think of that concept here. That's just a couple of ideas there. Peers, you see that in millennials, you see that in seniors. I spoke to somebody just yesterday, I think it was. Maybe it was the day before yesterday. And I was sharing with them that I'm a big fan for the right person of the reverse mortgage. Not everybody is in favor of a reverse mortgage. And even this individual who I've known for a lot of years had misconceptions. Everything she had been told about the reverse mortgage was based on the product from the early 1980s and is not even available any longer. She thought that the bank is going to take your home and you get to live there the rest of your life. No! The bank does not take your home in a reverse mortgage. That's not the way it works. What really happens in a reverse mortgage is there's a lien put on the property, and the bank has a lien on the property just like any other mortgage. They don't want your home. They're not in the business of real estate. Banks are in the business of two things. They want to get their money back from whatever they invest, and they also want the ability to make money. That's interest. How do they do it with a reverse mortgage? Well, they charge a slightly higher interest rate than a forward mortgage. Why? They don't know if they're going to get their money back in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Who knows? Because you don't have to pay the money back until the last person on the lien departs the property. Now, you can pay it back sooner. You can make payments even if you want to. But you don't have to. So here's where the beauty of it is the interest that's being charged is added to the lien amount. That's all it is. The interest charged is added to the... Can you buy a new house with a reverse mortgage? Yes. Can you take money out of your existing property? Most likely. It depends how much equity you have. It's used for a cash flow purpose. But you still get, or your estate still gets, all of the equity that accumulates in the property, all of the appreciation in the property. You have to still pay your taxes just like any other piece of property you own. You have to pay the insurance like you should on any other piece of property you own. You have to maintain the property. The city's not going to be too happy if you're not maintaining the property. But again, it goes back to the same concept that I was sharing with you with the millennials. Don't get advice from peers and friends. Most of the time, in quite a bit of the time, they don't know the product. They don't know the rules. There were so many changes in rules and regulations on reverse mortgages last year that somebody that got a reverse mortgage in 2013 probably doesn't even know about the current product. They don't know about the financial assessment that's a part of the reverse mortgage now. So it's a serious issue. Many, many people don't understand it. Again, it's not a product that's for everybody. But knowledge never hurts anybody. If it works for you, fine. If it doesn't work for you, fine. The federal government is the one setting most of the rules, so they're very, very strict on what you can do. There's fixed rates, there's adjustable rates. You got to understand it. Again, it's if you want some information on it, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with the right people so that you can get educated and see if it makes sense for you, for your family, for your household. Not for everybody, but the education is. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.